Today we'll be watching a brand new video about a company in the woodworking industry, and then we'll hear from some industry professionals. A few housekeeping tips. If you have any questions or comments throughout the presentation, please post them in the chat or Q&A sections. We will answer attendee questions throughout the session. This session is being recorded, and we would also like to thank our industry guests who have joined us today. I'm happy to share with you a brand new, never before seen video. We produced it just for you, and we hope you like it. This is a video about Architectural Woodworking Company, a business which does high-end commercial woodworking projects for clients in Los Angeles. Let's check it out.
Hi, my name is Saul Martin. I work for Architectural Woodworking Company. I'm the VP of manufacturing here at the facility. We do a lot of one-of-a-kind pieces. It gives you the opportunity to think out of the box and do creative stuff as opposed to, well, I'm building a box. Now, right here, we rarely do we do the same thing twice. You gotta get a little bit of everything to be successful in this industry.
Hi, my name is Eric Suzuki. I work here at Architectural Woodworking Company where I'm the chief detailer. We take the architectural and design concepts that are in the architectural drawings and figure out how we're going to go ahead and build those things. The passion comes from the challenge in figuring out, how to build things. You get these unique architectural designs. Sometimes it takes a lot to figure out how we're going to actually build that. I took a lot of shop classes in high school and intermediate school. I immediately went to trade school. I went to LA Trade Tech. I was an apprentice when I started here too, so I'm living proof that you could start at the very bottom and work your way up to a managerial position.
My name is Ted Norvell. I work for Architectural Woodworking. I work in the milling department. It's beginning the first phase of working off of shop drawing and cutting all the plywoods, veneer, laminated plastic, solid wood, put it all together and get it ready for the bench department to be assembled.
My name is Raul Barbosa. I'm the veneer guy and I love wood. I'm the one who decided, okay, I'm gonna pull this veneer for this job, I have to carry for the length, carry for the width. We make the faces, we press it, we use a hot press, and that continues, Like we're doing like all this radius stuff. That's, I think, the most exciting to me, when we make radius faces.
I'm Andrew Luna. I work at Architectural Woodworking Company. I've been here since I was 19 years old. I've been doing carpentry all my life, third generation. When it gets to assembly, we have to separate it, organize it, make sure we have every piece that we're gonna need. Once we start building it, we have to make sure that our dimensions are correct before applying glue and making everything as permanent as possible. Each time you walk in here will never be the same thing. It's always going to be custom, always going to be something new, and it's always going to be somewhat of a challenge. I started off in woodshop as well. High school, I did woodshop all 4 years. I actually went to a trade school. I went to Job Corps. That's where I kind of got into the cabinet making. I applied at the Union Hall, and this is the first place I came after that day.
I am Pedro Diaz, and I'm a finisher here at Architectural Woodworking Company. I need to make sure that our product looks 100% before it goes out those doors. So that includes the staining, the painting, the spraying, whatever it is that we need to do to color match our wood, our products, to make it look like $1 million. I love everything about it. You're learning something new every day. Two, you're never bored. At least myself, you're happy to be here because, man, you got to work on something different today.
There isn't a greater satisfaction than working with a young apprentice and the light bulb turns on and you see when they got something and it's like, wow, I can't believe I just did that. And it's, I can sleep good at night knowing that someone has learned something new.
Most importantly will be the attitude and the willing to learn. Of course, you're not going to have the experience where, oh, they want you to have 10 years of experience. You don't. Like we said, you learn every single day.
My grandfather was a carpenter. That's why I started since I was a little, you know. You have to love what you do, you know. If one day I put a tattoo on my body, I'm probably gonna put, I love wood, you know.
If you are interested in woodworking in general, I would recommend that you just jump in and, just go for it.
I've been very fortunate in this career path because I enjoy it so much. It's literally like going to Disneyland on a daily basis. It's like, wow, I can't believe I'm getting paid to do this. Fun stuff.
All right, cool. Now that you've seen it, feel free to comment in the chat section or post any questions you may have now that you've seen it. It's redundant. Now I'm happy to introduce celebrity woodworking champion from the video, Mr. Saul Martin. Saul is Vice President of Operations at Architectural Woodworking Company. Saul, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, Adam, Adria, and guests. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here. Yes, as we said, my name is Saul Martin from Architectural Woodworking Company. I, just like Andrew, I started off when I was 20 years old at Architectural. Been there a little over 27 years. And just like Raul Barbosa says, I love wood. Thank you.
All right,
I hope
thanks.
you enjoy
Saul.
the video.
And we also have from Drawer Box Specialties, we have Mr. Jim Irving. Jim is the general manager of Drawer Box Specialties, another wood products manufacturing company in Orange County. Jim, would you like to introduce yourself? I don't see you, Jim. Make sure you hit the mute button.
I knew I would forget that. So I'm Jim Irving. I'm the general manager of DBS, Drawer Box Specialties. I've been in the industry longer than most of the folks on this Zoom meeting today. I've been alive and love everything about it and happy to share it with you guys today.
All right, thanks, Jim. All right, now we're going to get into the Q&A section with Jim and Saul. First, we have a question from Elijah Rodriguez.
Hello, my name is Elijah Rodriguez. I am a freshman at San Jacinto High School. One question I have for Saul is, what is the difference between maple and oak wood?
Okay, Saul, you want to answer that?
Sure, great question. Obviously, maple and oak are two different types of species of woods. Maple is a much lighter wood. It's a denser wood. It's very hard to stain. It blotches quite a bit, whereas oak, there's two different types of oak. There's various types of oaks, but the most common is white and red. It's not as dense, a little more porous. White oak is very commonly used in the cask industry for making whiskey. And you can use it for cutting boards as well as maple, but they're both great woods, and they're both deciduous woods from North America, and you should continue to use them. Great wood. Thank you for the question.
All right, thanks, Saul.
Here's a follow-up question that we got from a few students. What is your favorite type of wood to work with and your favorite type of joinery?
I personally like veneers because you can get a lot more sequential faces out of it. And my favorite wood would be figured redwood. As far as joints go, just like DBS, dovetails are probably my favorite. I don't get to do them enough, but of course, you know, being that I do a lot of veneering, butt joints, seamless joints are the best, where you could barely tell where the joint is at in the veneer face.
How about you, Jim? What's your favorite type of wood joinery?
You know, mine changes, my favorite type of wood changes continually. We just got through doing a wood grill project going up in a hotel up in Seattle. You know, thousands of square feet of wood grill done in a Western hemlock that we finished with a conversion varnish clear coat on the top of it. And just the straightness of that grain, it just came out beautiful. So I'm pretty flighty. It changes every day. One day I'll see a walnut job go through and I think, oh my gosh, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And the next day it's something completely different. And I am clearly partial to dovetails. We do a ton of them. We make about 1,000 dovetail drawer boxes every single day. And Saul, I'd just assume you stay away from doing dovetails and just leave those to me for you.
Absolutely. You're the professional at that.
So just a little background, Saul's company buys drawer boxes from Jim's company.
Yes, we buy quite a bit, and we are very fortunate to have them and be able to do very custom drawer boxes where we actually provide pre-pressed panels for matching whatever the job is made out of, and Jim will go out of his way and help us out.
We're completely different roles. Saul is one of the most creative woodworkers I've ever seen. He's incredibly talented. And our role at DBS, and you'll see that today as you go through this, you'll see the different segments in our industry. Our role at DBS is to be an outsource partner for folks like Saul and other shops like them across the country. So we just kind of slide in, partner up with them, take part of their workload off them, and hopefully we put them in a position where they can take on more projects than they could have done otherwise on their own. And it's good for them and it's good for us, and everybody prospers from it.
Very cool.
Thank you, Jim. And I must say that a lot of my experience has come through the ages, I guess you could say. I, just like most of the students who are now looking at this video live, I started off just like you guys in middle school, high school, college, you know, taking woodworking classes in between, and playing sports, and just being involved in other activities, you know. That's over time you start accruing a lot of knowledge.
All right, let's do another video question here, this time from Antoine.
Hello, my name is Antoine Byers. I'm a student at San Jacinto High School in Wood Tech 1, and I just wanted to ask, what education would you need to advance in woodworking after high school?
Saul, you want to field this one?
Absolutely, great question, Antoine. You know, it all depends on what you feel you would like to do in the woodworking industry. If you want to get into drawing, then I certainly would suggest that you look into taking courses in AutoCAD. If you just want to learn basic woodworking, and you should always take woodworking classes, just go to your typical community college that will have some of these courses. There's a lot of them out there. You may not think that they're there, but they're available just about everywhere. And educate yourself in the basics of cabinet making, millwork, just woodworking, math, AutoCAD, and one of the things that nobody really talks about a whole lot is Microsoft tools, which Excel is a very powerful tool for you when you're manufacturing case goods, you have to make your bill of materials. So you got to put them all down in Excel, and so you could optimize your parts.
Great. Jim, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Let's see, you've worked at a few different companies in different sectors of the wood industry. How has that helped you with your current position?
Yeah, I think it's really, I've been just blessed. I've spent most of my life in this industry. I actually am totally dating myself here, but as a sophomore in high school, I started with a waterbed company in the 70s. Started loading customers' cars with waterbeds they came in and bought, and then worked my way up. So then I was sanding in the shop, and part-time while I was in high school. By the end of it, I was turning cannonball bedposts on a lathe for waterbed construction. And then I went into the boat building industry and spent about 8 years doing sailboat interiors, working with teak and mahogany, and working with just some extraordinary craftsmen who I got to learn alongside of. So I spent a few years as a maker, kind of in Saul's realm, not nearly as capable as he is, but in that same kind of a role. And then I went into the paint and coatings industry, supplying stains and lacquers and varnishes for the woodworking industry. So I've spent the last better part of 30 years in a supply function for folks just like Saul. I sold Saul conversion varnish when I was at Sherwin-Williams for 10 years, made stains and coatings for them. So I've had a really good opportunity to see the width and the breadth of our industry. And you're going to see that today. You got guys like Saul at the center of it, and then you're going to see folks like me, folks like the guys at Bloom who are doing hardware for the industry, folks like Styles Machinery, Lucille will be on here later. All of those things are involved in the same segment, and we're all involved in the same processes, just with different roles in it.
Absolutely.
All right. I have one more question for Saul here. Saul, what's your favorite project at AWC, at Architectural Woodworking Company, and why?
Well, I've been there for a while now, and there's a lot of projects that stand out. But the one that stands out the most is the one that was in the video with the big round table. That was a very complicated project, a lot of engineering involved. And you don't see it in the shop because you work in component parts and everything gets sent out to the field. But once installed and everything is put together, it makes it look so nice. And at the end of the day, when I see those images, it's like, wow, yeah, I actually worked on that. That's where I feel that I was rewarded by seeing great images. And I've been fortunate in that project, or we are at Architectural. It's been in several publications, and when I look at it, it's like, yeah, that's part of my work right there. So, and that was just a lot of engineering and making of tools that you're not going to go and find just anywhere. You actually have to think of them and manufacture it and make the part, and then I guess you throw the tool away, you don't need it anymore. Chances are you're not going to do the same project twice. So yeah, the big round table that was in the video was probably my most challenging and memorable piece.
That's a cool one for sure. All right, let's do another video question. It's time from Jacob. This will be for Jim.
Okay, I have like two questions. One of them is what kind of jobs can you get with woodworking? And the second one is how much do you earn from them?
Right.
Great question.
We covered a little bit, but yeah.
Great question. So, first of all, I think I'm a testament of it. If you look at my walk through the industry, I started this thing in 1977 making $3 an hour. And today I run one of the largest manufacturers of drawer boxes in the United States. I have 75 employees that work for us. And over the course of my life, I've built a career that's allowed me to provide for my family, provide for myself. I put myself and 3 children through college, and I've made a really nice living at it. And we do the same thing here at DBS. We can take a team member that comes in, we can start them in an entry-level position where, you know, maybe today they're helping us QC or clean drawer boxes as they come down the line, or they're helping us palletize components coming off of our CNC. They'll come in and learn it and show us their capabilities, and they can grow up our organization. I've got a gentleman that's worked for us that started in assembly that 23 years later is my senior panel saw operator, and he works a CNC panel saw for us. He's made a tremendous living for himself over those years with DBS. So there's a career path here where you can come in and you can, even without a whole lot of knowledge, but just with the right attitude, you can come in, let folks mentor you up the organization, gravitate towards those sections of the industry that you personally enjoy, and really have a nice life. If you listen to people talk today, especially in California, they'll tell you manufacturing's dead. It's not. It's alive and well. We've got a really robust woodworking industry in California, and we're looking for the next generation of it. Guys like Saul and I are starting to get gray and a little rough around the edges, some of us more than others, and we're looking for that next generation to take this business on.
Very cool. Saul, do you want to talk a little bit about salary ranges in woodworking companies and different jobs?
Absolutely. It's, you know, your salary is relative to the amount of knowledge that you have. The more depth you have, the more responsibilities that you will take on, and along with that comes compensation. So as for myself, I've had a great career. I have a lot of toys. You know, I go camping, I have a trailer, I have a lot of machinery that I personally own because I like to make my own stuff, or, you know, there isn't anything that hinders me when it comes to money. You know, it's like, hey, you know, I got a little bit of cash, let's go buy this, let's go get a drone, you know, they're on sale or something. But absolutely, this job is, this career path has been great. And the more courses you take, the more you educate yourself on, you know, programming, machinery, running AutoCAD, running a 3D modeling software, and producing parts, your employer will take care of you. As far as different jobs in the industry, you cannot realize how many jobs are out there that ties everybody together. Just like Jim said, there's people in hardware that work closely with woodworkers, finishings, just even mechanics. Even if you like to just wrench on cars now, and you're handy at repairing stuff, we need a lot of guys out in the industry repairing machinery, doing technical work. And I've known quite a few fellas that have gone out on their own, and they literally make well over $100 an hour. So you can do very well as a technician, but you cannot be a good technician unless you have all the experience and knowledge. You know, take some mechatronics classes so you can know how pneumatics and electrical components work, and you could do very well for yourself. Thank you.
Let's do one last video question here. This one's from Diego.
Hi, my name is Yo Garcia. I am a student at San Jacinto High School. I am in Wood Tech 1, and I was just wondering, what was the first project you ever built?
All right, first project you ever built. Jim, do you want to answer that?
Wow, it was a long damn time ago. Probably, I remember in 8th grade woodshop making a jewelry box for my mom. So, you know, you're talking about something that was 45 years ago now. So, yeah, I think that's the first thing I did. I think it was actually done out of burl maple, and pretty sure she still has it.
Oh, you went pretty fancy. Huh?
Yeah, right?
So, what was the first thing you ever made?
You know, I remember making something prior to what I think is my first project, but my first project in school was a sugar pine napkin holder. That was, it's still sitting on my table. It used to be on my mom's table, but you know, I got it back, and it's still there. It's held by 2 nails on either side, on either one of the ends. So it's got 4 finish nails and 3 sticks of wood that I nailed together. That's my first project, and I see it every day, and I'm still proud of it. You know, it's you compare the first project I made to what I do now, it's like, holy moly, what a difference.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Adri, do we have any questions from the chat or the Q&A?
Yeah, we have some great ones. I'm not sure if we'll have time for all of them, but please, you're welcome to join us for the 1 o'clock session and the 2 o'clock session today. Both of those are Pacific time. We'll have different industry guests joining Saul, so the conversation will be a little bit different. But yeah, and all of these sessions are recorded. They're going to be on YouTube, and they're also streaming on Facebook Live and the California SWM, California SWM page. But just to, maybe to wrap up at this point, Saul is a bit of a local celebrity. I know we have some Southern California students on the webinar this morning, and they know Mr. Martin from the Skills USA competitions. And so a popular question was, how did you go from making that first project way back to doing these advanced projects at AWC? Essentially, like, how did you get, you know, where did you start with in middle school, and how did you end up where you are now?
Yes, great question. I started woodworking courses at middle school in 7th grade, and I took a wood shop and plastics in 7th and 8th grade. Then I went on to high school, where I took just a regular cabinet. It was just a wood shop back then, and I took it all 4 years. 3 of those years I had double periods, and I was very fortunate that my wood shop teacher, Mr. Vandenberg, pointed me to the direction of VICA, which is now Skills USA. And I was able to compete when I was in high school. I graduated from high school, went to LA Trade Tech for 2 years. I competed in VICA, or now Skills USA, when I was at LA Trade Tech. I won in state. I came in 3rd place, but man, I was so elated. It didn't matter. I was first. And right after that, I started working at Architectural Woodworking Company and became an apprentice with Local 721, Cabinet Makers and Millmen out of Whittier. Did 3.5 years of apprenticeship. They gave me some credit for the years that I was at LA Trade Tech, and basically started working a little bit in the mill, veneer, and I learned all the pieces of equipment. I'm one of those guys that wants to know, how does this thing work? So I basically took apart a lot of toys when I was younger. What's making this thing go? And that's how I was when I was an apprentice. I wanted to know how to set up the shaper, how to adjust machinery, how to fix this, how to fix that. And as time progressed, they kept giving me more and more challenges. All right, try to do this. And it's like, oh, this is easy. You know, it's like, of course, I made a lot of mistakes as an apprentice. You know, you're allowed to make mistakes because you're learning. And trust me, I learned a lot. And through a lot of the projects that I did, I progressively got better at them and came up with ideas how to go about making things happen, and how to you know, take on some really big challenges and bring them to fruition. You know, you see it on a piece of paper and you look at it, it's like, what, you want me to do what? And then you buy the tools to make the fixture or jig that you need to make that product, and it's like, wow, you know, it's like, we made it happen, let's do it again. And that's probably what keeps me motivated, or makes me get up in the morning to, it's like, all right, next challenge, go, 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 go. So yeah, essentially that's my story. And I don't know, that was probably a little too long, but it's been a great journey so far, and I hope it continues for a while yet.
Sounds good. All right, well, we're gonna start wrapping up here. We'd like to thank everyone for joining us today, and especially to our industry guests. We hope you all enjoyed this session. Feel free to chat your favorite part of the session or something that you learned in the chat or Q&A sections. Meanwhile, if you'd like to learn more about careers in woodworking, check out woodindustryed.org. You can see that website down at the bottom of this page. And if you would like to contact me or any of the panelists today to ask any more questions, or if you're interested in a career in woodworking, please email me at adam@awfs.org. That's also kind of in the trees floating above Saul's awesome shop there. Finally, be sure to check out the Manufacturing Day website for more Manufacturing Day events taking place throughout the country this month. There are some great ones. I know there's at least 2 more woodworking ones that will be released in the month of October. So lots to see and lots to do. And thank you again, everyone, for joining. Saul and Jim, did you want to say goodbye?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you all for joining our webinar, and I hope to see and meet all of you guys so we could talk wood.
Sounds good. Thanks, everyone.